Hello again, ladies and gentlemen. Saka here with another episode of NASCAR Racing 2003 season. We are now kicking off the chase here in Chicagoland. A lot left on the line. If a winner from the chase wins today, they are in the Contender 12. So it's a big day for us today. We're starting on the outside here in 12th position in the 6th row. Once again, I'm joined by Brandon in the Texaco Haviland Ford. Up there on the inside groove right there in front of Jeff Gordon. 27 laps with a fuel window of 17 laps. So this is a one-stop race. We're going to try to split this race in half as far as pit strategy is concerned. Pace car is off and we are ready to roll. Looking for that green flag. Green flag is in the air behind Sterling Marlin. Unfortunately, we're here on the high side, so it looks like we're going to have to try to fight down to that bottom. Kenseth down there to our inside. We are amongst the chase competitors. Unfortunately, I didn't have time to put any Sprint yellow or Monster Energy green on these cars that are for chase spots, but no worries. We've raced with them all year and we know who the competitive cars are, and if we go out and win all these races, then no worries. Down to the inside under Johnny Benson, looking under the 40 of Sterling Marlin. We're making up some good headway here. Turn 1 is a little bit slick. We'll take it nice and easy here. Settle in behind the 18 of Bobby Labonte. He's going to push up top. We're down here at the bottom. We should be able to out-brake Johnny Benson here going into turn 3. Bad break for Johnny not being in the chase. Those 5 DNFs bit him, so he is actually not what we're concerned with. Big run here. Let's use the apron to our advantage. Get as many cars past as we can. Rusty not backing down, though. Looks like he'll roll out, and Mark Martin is to our outside. If we can clear Mark here, which we did, outstanding. We can settle in behind Tony Stewart in that Home Depot Pontiac. And there's some room to run in front of us. We can make up some good time here. The AI likes to push their tires a little bit too awful much, so we'll start reeling these guys back in, but a battle for the lead way up there going into turn 1 with Earnhardt and Brandon. They look like miles away, but as this race goes on, I think we'll be able to see more of them. We just need to focus on our line here. It's cloudy with 15-mile-an-hour wind. It's trying to push the car around. A lot of speed here, though, for sure, but it's very easy to overdrive and slide up in turn 3 and 4. Good run off of the turn there. Looks like Jeff Burton is our next target in tow. I think we can do turn 1 a lot better than these guys here. We seem to pick up a lot here in turn 1 and 2. If Jeff Gordon can bring these guys back to us, even better. Jeff is definitely fast, and we need to make sure that we are on point to get everything we can out of it. These cars up front are really, really close in speed, but we are nipping at the heels of Jeff Burton. Just tenths here, tenths there. They add up for sure, especially since we can drive our own line in our own race. We're definitely reeling them back in, and it looks like he is having some difficulty passing that car in front of him. He's right on their bumper. Be a shame if Jeff Burton was to take out that car in front, but I doubt he's going to. That's his brother Ward. Now, all these cars up here are for chase spots. I'll remind you that we are going with the new point system where every place is a point. So it's real easy to factor in, once the race is over, how many spots we need to be ahead of the cutoff. But being in 7th with a 21-point advantage coming into Chicago, I'm feeling pretty comfortable. We just need to run consistent. 3 laps until the bottom 4 of this group are cut, and I hope it isn't us. Oh wow, Jeff Burton really slows down there. We'll take the high line with Ward, and we might be able to clear Jeff here going into the turn. We'll clear him just a bit, but I'm not going to come down in front of him. That looks to be a little bit dangerous. We'll roll the high line as best we can, and we should be able to clear him off of this turn here, and we do. So let's set up Ward here. Let's look to the inside, see if we can get him on corner entry, and we're not going to be able to. That bump on the entry of turn 3 is pretty vicious, and we don't want to go sliding out. Ward is within our sights. So We can make short work of him here, though. Engine is screaming going into turn 1. There we go. Another spot for us, and that will put us in the top 5. Jeff Gordon, and then there's a big gap to the cars in front of Jeff Gordon. So once we pass Jeff here, we'll just sort of settle in and see if we can reel in these cars in front. We shouldn't have to fight too awful hard. Pit stops are very quickly approaching. If we split this race in half, that's going to be lap 14 or 13, depending on their strategy. Either way, you'll have 1 lap different tires. But we'll drive into that turn. Jeff Gordon is hanging tough, but we will clear him off of this turn, and whoa, a little loose there. All right, looking for Jeff Gordon to fight back, but he didn't get off that turn as well as we did, even though we were really sideways. I like what I see in front of us. 2 cars side by side, Jarrett and Earnhardt fighting there, and Brandon leading the way. One thing I might do is stay out to lead a lap. Every point is very important. That's a spot on the racetrack. So if these guys all pit together, I'll definitely do 1 more lap and get a bonus point for leading a lap. But we're making okay. We're less than 2 seconds back off of Brandon here. So Brandon looks like he was passed by Dale and Dale. We're sort of reeling him back in, but as I said, pit stops are coming very shortly. We're with 16 laps to go, and I think they're going to pit with 15 laps to go, if I'm not mistaken. So a few more laps. I'll run as hard as I am comfortable. Luckily, lap traffic is not a factor now, but I have a sneaking suspicion that lap traffic is going to come into play very soon, especially after pit stops. All right, I imagine they're going to be coming a little scrape off on pit road next time by. So we'll sort of keep an eye out for that. Luckily, we don't have anyone pressuring us from behind, and we're not going to catch anybody this time around. So they can get to pit road safely. We'll go on around and get our bonus point for leading a lap. All right, yes, looks like they're all coming down to pit road. Earnhardt and Jarrett are on the apron. There goes Brandon down to get his service. We'll go on around, and we will indeed lead this lap here. We're going to lead lap 13. Outstanding. So that's a bonus point for us, and we are going to be coming down pit road this time to split the race in half. If I thought that they were going to get racy and bring out a caution, I would stay out and try to trap some people a lap down, but this has a look of a very green race. So I think it's better for my lap times and everybody considered if I come down pit road this time. I want to brake right here, get into a straight line, downshift twice, 3,500 in second gear. I might have given up a little bit on pit road entry, but we are down safe, and we really have to look out for all of these cars beside us. We don't want them jumping out. Also, it's tough to sort of see my pit board here. Oh, there they are, right past Bobby Labonte's pit. So we're going to come down for our service. Bam, hit it. 4 tires and fuel, guys. Onto the left sides now. Everything is looking good. The lap traffic should be clear of pit road when we drop the jack. There we go. Drop the jack, and off we go, back up to 3,500 in second gear right there. Speeding would be tremendously bad. There's pit road, and back on it. Let's get up to third gear and sort of ride the apron as best we can. There goes Earnhardt and Jarrett. Let's get down into fourth gear as best we can here. Keep the car under us, looking in the mirror for anyone coming. Here comes another big group. And it's Ward Burton followed by Brandon. So we are going to be pretty much where we were as far as track position compared to Brandon. So he and I had pretty equal pit road entry, exit, and stops. But the leaders now have really stretched it out. It looks like Earnhardt and Jarrett either had a really good pit stop or they got a good pit road entry. New tires are very treacherous. They're going to start to slide out until the temperature gets built up. And we're coming to 11 laps to go, so basically 10 laps, qualifiers if I can, to do the best we can. Looks like Ward Burton will be an easy target for us. Reel him in to get back into the top 5. And it looks like lap traffic is indeed being caught by the leaders. They not only were they not fast before the pit stops, but they might not have had a good pit stop, or they might not have had a good pit road or exit. So they've given up a lot of time compared to where they were before pit stops, and the leaders are going to be hounding them very quickly. So while we have clean track, it is in our best interest to run as fast as we can to make up as much time as we can. Coming around to 10 laps to go now, and Ward Burton is right there. We're chipping away, only 4/10 behind him now. And we do have a better turn 1 than Ward for sure. Let's see if we can have a good turn 2 exit. About a comparable exit for Ward. We'll get that pull down the backstretch though, the curved backstretch unique to Chicago. All right, yeah, some nice solid turn 3 here. We're going to get a good drive off, and already the gaggle is starting to form in front of us. Brandon is there on the apron passing those lap cars, and it's going to be just a matter of time before we are going to be in the thick of all that mess as well. All right, let's get right on his back bumper here, set up for a good turn. Oh, thank you. The car definitely had some bite coming off of turn 2. We're going to get under Ward and set sights on these lap cars. Hopefully they run that high groove. Nope, they're going to come down, but they're going to come up by the time we get there. Let's keep our momentum up. We do not want to lose anything. The 14 comes down. Out of the way, people, out of the way. Move, Hill Bros. It seems like any time that the race is on the line, the Hill Bros car is there to mess with you. But a pretty solid exit. Those guys are going to be in the mirror, and they're just going to disappear eventually. We've got this big group of cars in front of us, and this is getting me some hope. I think we can make our way through here and make up some spots. We're in 5th now, so a top 5 is... anything other than a top 5 would be pretty disappointing as at this point. Let's get under Daryl. Everything is awesome. We go around Daryl. Let's set up for the 00. And I don't like this. The 00 looks like he's going to try to pass the 97 with us right in the middle. Let's make a charge and get our nose in there. Get them 3 wide. And we cleared them. And the spotter didn't say we were clear. We went through them so fast. Yeah, I was trying to get everything I could get there, but everyone is right here, right in front of us with 6 laps to go. I think we can do this. I really think we can do this. Kyle Petty gets out of the way. Jeff Gordon keeps that hole open for us. We will drive under the 44. And yeah, here we go. Big battle. Brandon looking under Jarrett. The 7 of Michael Waltrip is up top. So there's Earnhardt. He's probably the leader. We are within just a stone's throw. Let's get around Jeff Gordon here. Let's use the apron as much as we can. Get up on the racetrack. Come on. We're going to get him. Stay in the gas just a little bit longer. Slide job up. I'm sure Jeff doesn't appreciate that, but we had to go for it. The cars in front of us are getting better lap times, and we cannot afford to be giving up a second a lap in traffic. This is going to bode well. It's going to play right into our hand here with the leaders in traffic and us having clean air. We're going to get back to Jarrett fairly quickly, and then it's just a matter of catching Brandon and Earnhardt. Nice and wide into turn 1. Let's stay on the bottom as best we can. And wow, Dale and Dale are being clogged up. So Jarrett is being held up by the 71 of Dave Marcus. Earnhardt held up by the 9 of Stacy Compton. Jeez, I wanted to go in, but that would have been the end of our race had we just drove in. Let's see if we can get under Jarrett here, keep him pinned behind. Jarrett moves down the block. We do have the spot. We're up on the racetrack. Out of the way, Jarrett. All right, here we go. We were in 3rd, now we are in 2nd, trying to focus on Brandon with 3 laps to go. Lap traffic is still a major headache here. They are just so much slower than we are. All right, let's come down here. Jeffrey Bodine moving to pit. These guys, oh, the car washed up. I wish we would have stayed on the bottom there, but we can make a charge. The 93 throws a block for some reason. There goes the 77. Oh, the 77 stops right in front of us. Out of the way. Oh, we clipped the 4. Okay, so we're in the wall a bit. No worries. We lose a few spots. We lose 3 spots there. We are still in 5th, but the yellow flag is out. Mike Skinner just decided that or Bobby Hamilton decided that he wanted to just stop right in front of us. Let's see if we can make up some spots here. We're still coming back to the yellow. A lot of steam here. Nope, we're not going to get him. Man. So this race ends under yellow. I was going for broke. As a driver, you have to ask yourself, you know, was it worth it to sort of push the lap cars like that? I mean, I believe it was. I mean, this was a race that we could have won, but Brandon got the win, so happy for him. He moves on to that next round in the chase. I keep thinking that it could have been us, and if we got around those lap cars, we might have had something for them. But in the late stages of the race, if you roll out of it and you fight those lap cars, then you're happy running where you are. So if I lose this round by 3 points, I am definitely going to remember Chicagoland. But I mean, we had a 21-point cushion going into the race. I'm not mad at a 5th place. I'm sort of upset at them, but the AI is going to AI. That's no big thing.
We'll figure it out.
But Brandon gets the win. That's really good for our team, for sure. He and I. Looking forward to New Hampshire, though. We got the win in New Hampshire last time, although we got the win in Chicago last time, too, and I was hoping for a season sweep. But I think if we'll do okay at New Hampshire. We might go for a season sweep there at New Hampshire and make our way into the Contender 12 next time around. Man, it's a tough pill to swallow, though, when you had a winning car and couldn't bring it home. But I'm not mad at 5th. Not mad at 5th at all. All right, so we will roll into pit road here. We will take a look at that last tussle with the lap cars. I mean, overall, a very by-the-numbers race for us, for sure. There's the top 20 there. Good runs by Nadu and Benson. I mean, Benson was up there in the top 10. But as we know, Johnny Benson had 5 DNFs, so, you know, all of those points, meh, really doesn't matter. One retiree, Robert Presley, in that crash, 21 cars on the lead lap. Yeah, let's take a look at that lap traffic that we fought in. It wasn't exactly good, that is for sure. So we're under the 93 here, looking under the 77. We get into them, and I see that hole, and we just get into the 4. Robert Presley gets up into the wall and ends his day. You know, that cost Robert Presley I'd say a mediocre finish if he already wasn't running in last. But anyway, let's take a look at the chase grid after Chicagoland. Terry Labonte is our cutoff driver, but Mark Martin and Jr. 1 and 3 points, Kenseth 6. Skinner just 1 ahead, Burton 2 ahead, Marlin 3 ahead. I mean, that transfer spot is very narrow. Unfortunately, Bobby Labonte decided to pit with 2 laps to go, dropping him 16 points behind the cutoff. We're essentially a race already ahead of Bobby Labonte, so that is awesome. But that's going to do it for me and this episode, ladies and gentlemen, of NASCAR Racing 2003 season. Like, share, and subscribe if you are so bold. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I will see you next week at New Hampshire. Take care.